Let's take a look at what's leading these Sunday newspapers. We're joined by Business Day Politics Editor Hajra Omarjee, and all of the newspapers have President Cyril Ramaphosa's either face or name on their front pages. And Hajra, we understand you have some information that indeed the president has no intention to step down, but will give the political fight of his life.
Indeed, and I apologize for the break in transmission. Of course, we've been plunged into load shedding at the worst possible time, yet we still have a job to do. So the president initially wanted to resign because in terms of his public stance on the issue of corruption and within his reform agenda, he thought that there was no way he could defend the panel's report. However, he's been convinced by his closest supporters, amongst them Gwede Mantashe, Zamani Soul, and others, that he should stay and fight on. Now, he did finally meet with the ANC top brass yesterday afternoon. After that meeting, we heard that the president would continue to fight on for ANC president. He would not resign. But this is very damaging for the ANC's reform agenda. And even if the ANC support Ramaphosa, given the fact that he's got 2,000 nominations compared to Zweli Mkhize's 900, it will no doubt take the pain for the Phala scandal come the 2024 general elections.
Hajra, let's take a look at the Sunday Times and the City Press, right, in terms of the reporting on the story. So you've got the Sunday Times.
Love that City Press.
Right?
I love that City Press headline.
So let's show our viewers. Yeah, I want to go straight into there. Let's show our viewers what we're talking about, right? So Sunday Times says, I'm not going, and they've got a picture of President Cyril Ramaphosa. It's darkened out, and it just gives you chest dun-duns, maybe not pains. But anyway, City Press then goes on to say how Cyril was forced to not resign. Ramaphosa's allies are using the weekend to draw up a comprehensive fight-back strategy as his enemies sharpen their knives. And if you read the article, I mean, this is crystallizing him as this victim, but there are people who got his back naturally, right? So this is nothing new. But indeed, if he is this weak person, one person is even quoted as saying, because the president is soft, if he is the soft and weak person, then how does he see a second term working out?
Well, I think the ANC is having to choose between the lesser of two evils. The reality is the president does have 2,000 nominations for ANC president. His nearest competitor has 900. Are you able to remove or ask a president to resign and as well as recall him from office and not stand for ANC president 2 weeks before an ANC conference unless your reasons are 100% solid? I think that would be viewed as a political coup. And I think that is what is in the mind of ANC Secretary General, Acting Secretary General Paul Mashatile. Now we'll see what happens when the NWC of the ANC as well as the NEC of the ANC weigh in on the issue this afternoon and tomorrow. However, the president's allies, the likes of Gwede Mantashe and others, have convinced him that he has a likely chance of winning on review and that he should not give up the fight. The president himself has come out to say him giving up the fight right now would push back the reform agenda. Now, it's interesting that if it is true in terms of what the panel found on Phala, there's a prima facie case against him that he himself acted against against a reform agenda. But the ANC is kind of choosing between the lesser of two evils 2 weeks before conference. I think that the biggest question both Ramaphosa and the party have got to ask themselves is what is in the best interest of the ANC's reform agenda, what is in the best interest of the country, and what is in the best interest of the party come the 2024 general elections. All those things to be weighed up by the NWC this afternoon and the ANC NEC tomorrow.
Yeah. In fact, you speak of those who are closest to him, the allies, and then you take a look at the Sunday Independent, and it's going with the headline, "Thieves Beg Ramaphosa to Stay." It goes on to read, ministers with Smolanyana skeletons are drumming up support for President Cyril Ramaphosa not to resign because they are afraid of having their shenanigans exposed and being jailed once he is gone. But then they're also running with an exclusive, right, where it says where CR's dollars came from. Some startling allegations here, or rather explosive allegations, because it includes other countries outside of Namibia.
Not explosive allegations, because all of these allegations have been in the public domain before and they've been denied. What I do find interesting is that in terms of the parliamentary panel report, the terms of reference were sent out. They were very limited. They did not allow for oral evidence or cross-examination or even investigation. The president did not question those terms of reference. The panel was appointed. The president did not question who was appointed. And then he gives his version, and the panel says, well, there's some massive holes in your version of events, including the buffalo still being at the farm 2 years later, but then questions, takes it on review, which is his legal right as an individual. However, some of his supporters have undermined the integrity of panel members, those that sat on the panel which drew this conclusion, as well as the integrity of the panel and Parliament. Now, I think this is unwise, because for 10 years we called on Parliament to do exactly what they've done with Cyril Ramaphosa to Jacob Zuma, to follow their constitutional obligations. And yet, in defense of an individual, some of Ramaphosa's supporters have come out to attack a constitutional organ of state, which is Parliament, and attack our constitutional democracy. So I think there's blame on both sides. As far as the Sunday Independent goes, we've heard those allegations before. They've all been denied. We've not seen any proof of them. In fact, on social media yesterday, everybody was saying the video with Ramaphosa counting the money would be in the Independent today. That did not happen. Independent have chosen a very clear line against Cyril Ramaphosa. That is their right. I'm not arguing for or against anyone, but more our constitutional democracy.
Hajra, good to see you. Enjoy your Sunday with no electricity for about a couple of hours, and all the best with the working day ahead. Business Day Politics Editor Hajra Omarjee. Still to come.